Okay guys, let's talk about grouting and the right way to grout. Hello Georgie. How are you today? Mandy? What we have is grout. A lot of people make the mistake of using a thin set mortar to grout, and mortar is different than grout. And you'll see here I have something called poly blend. Put that in the sun. And what the poly blend has, it has a polymer in it, a plasticization, and it really makes a hard, almost impenetrable surface there. So what we have to do is mix this up, let it stand for 10 minutes, and then come back and remix it. And then I'll show you. I have something called a grout float here. Boy, I'm glad I'm done cutting tall. Whew. I have something called a grout float here, and you'll see it's a rubberized pad, and what that allows is a little flexibility so you're not super pressing on the tile. But what we'll do is we'll start high, we'll work that grout in two directions. We'll get a load of grout on there, work it in two directions, and then take the top surface of the grout off and let it sit for 10-20 minutes. And then we'll come back, and because that'll allow it to set. A lot of people wipe immediately and the grout comes right out of the joints again. You don't want to do that. You want to put it on, wait 20 minutes, then come back and give a good wipe off. And then 2 hours later, come back with the water and the sponge to get the haze off of it. So it's one of those things you need to do right, because if you visualize behind these tiles, there is pockets in here where there's not thin set. I mean, it's not a totally complete fill. So what this grout does, when you push it in, it expands into those open areas and helps fill them up. And it's your best defense against water intrusion, and makes a good job. So I've gone ahead and I've cleaned all the joints, paying particular attention to the low ones where water is going to be coming down more. And I'm going to do this wall last because I set the niches over here. This bottom niche I just finished this morning, so I want to make sure not to disturb that tile, to let that set up. Ideally you'd wait till overnight, but we really need to move ahead with the project. This is not a big wear and tear area here, so it should be fine. All the lines turned out real good on the niches. It was very complicated, very difficult job, but when we grout it, it'll look all beautiful and nice. I've got a nice butter colored grout. I'm going to go out and mix it now. Okay guys, you'll see I have some grout here on my rubber float, so I'll go ahead and apply it across the wall here. Trying to take it up close to the ceiling line. We'll always be coming back and retouching the ceiling anyway. Same with the walls, and I'm going to leave the wall joints undone, as we talked about, because they really need to be caulked and not grouted. So I'm now working that into the joints really good. I work it in one direction, and then I work it into the other, making sure to get that grout in. And I'm liking this color. It's like a butter. It's a little darker than what it'll be when it dries, but it'll be a very, very beautiful color. So I'm working that into all the joints. Okay. And then I'm going to come back and wipe off the excess. Make sure, push it in hard. Don't just leave the stuff on the surface, but actually work it in there real good. Tile needs to absolutely be sealed. Now I'll grab another bit here on the rubber float. And I work that in. I guess I should move this tile at the bottom, but you get the idea how it should be. Okay, the first wall is done. I'm going to come back later. I've got the high bits off and come back later and clean it down. I really use that float to really jam that material into those cracks there. Now I'm just coming back and taking a look, make sure I don't have any open cracks. And then later we'll come back with the wiping sponge and finish it up. Okay, so I'm going to move on. So you guys, grouting can be tiring work. So, just on the, only really got one wall left to go, just finishing up this one. I'm really taking extra time. Anywhere there's a possibility of water intrusion, and don't worry, I'm going to come back and clean out those joints, the wall joints, so that I can caulk away on them. But I'm really pounding that grout in really hard to make sure I'm filling in all the spaces. So this wall's had plenty of time to dry from this morning's niche work, so we'll go ahead and get this last wall grouted. Well, I have to say the grouting has really gone super well today. The stuff mixed up very well. The color, as you can see here, the grout is just a perfect match in between. So with any grouting job, the trick is now, it really turns into a babysitting job, because you know, if you let this haze dry on these tiles, it's very difficult to get it off later. You have to make sure there's no grout or anything on them at all. So I'm going to spend the next hour or so just wiping things down. The niche turned out beautifully, as you see there. The wider, I'm really glad I went with a wider grout joint, and the lower niche just looks absolutely, well, I just think it looks beautiful. I'm not patting myself on the back. I never have on any of these videos, but let's just say I'm happy it turned out well. We have a good place to stick shampoos and everything here, soaps and all that. So it's really nice to see everything come together. So with that, it's time to get this finished, getting this really wiped down good. It's going to take several water changes and sponging, and then we're going to call it a day. We're not going to do the caulking today. I'm going to reopen some of these joints so the caulk flows in there good, and we should be good to go. All right, well, you can't see me, but my, well, you maybe can, my shirt is just soaking wet. I've been sweating up a storm, wiping down the grout here. I'm going to call it a day. I got most of the haze off. There isn't any grout on the surface of the tile to cause any problem. So a little haze is fine. Some fresh water and some soft cloths tomorrow will get it ultra good. But the grouting has been wonderful, and tomorrow, it's hard to believe, but we're going to be putting the finished floor surface down tomorrow. I know something that makes Jen super happy, and then grouting that up won't be tomorrow, but it'll be Wednesday. But it'll be exciting to think that next weekend should be the end of the project here. So I know you guys are happy too. It's been a long road. It's only been 9 weeks, but it's been probably close to 35 videos. But you've seen the whole process here. I hope you've enjoyed it. As the grouting concludes today, we're going to let this dry and set for a while. And I think it looks great. The choice of grout was wonderful. The buttercream just is a beautiful complementary color in there. And I'm very excited. We're going to have that as the grout on the floor too, and it's going to be great. All right, everybody, thanks for being here another day. I appreciate it, as does Jen. While I was working away in here today, she was putting shelving. She never stops, okay? She's putting shelving up in the shine shack and getting ready for a company. It's wonderful to have her as a partner. She's an unsung hero. You don't see her working here on cam a lot, but behind the scenes, she is a total and complete godsend. So on behalf of her and me, thanks so much for being here again.